Good morning again. Captain Larry here from boatingbanner.com. Chapter 2. Boating utensils or tools that you're going to use for upholstery. And I got a few more, a little more advanced ones here today that will make your life simpler. We'll try to demonstrate a few of them and tell you what I think, why they're good and why they're bad. Hopefully, again, there will be some benefit from you when you start doing your canvas and or vinyl work. But first I want to show you something that I think is interesting, if nothing else. This is a typical Sunbrella. This is not Sunbrella. This is a less expensive product. But they recommend that you hot knife cut these products, being nylon-like, that they will unravel if in fact their sides are not singed. So like sailrite.com offers a hot knife. It's quite expensive. I'm going to say $125, $135. But they said you can also use like a a soldering gun. So I just simply went down to my local Harbor Freight, which is a great place to buy product if you can go down there and you got one in your area. This one here was, I don't know, not even $20, and they always have a 20% discount, so highly recommend it compared to spending $125 on something. The only problem I found though is when you get it, is number one, it's kind of hard to cut the canvas with it, make a straight line and not make a mess, and then when the when the nose gets hot, it breaks like that, which is no good. And let me show you what else I found is a problem, at least for me. Maybe it wouldn't be for you. They recommend, this is another thing I use for my metal ruler, a nice hard surface so you don't burn into anything. You get your thing hot, and as you're dragging it down, you gotta go kind of slow to get it through. Takes a little while. Then the hotter your tip gets, the more it wants to bend. So it's a very slow procedure, and if you do like this, if you stop for a second, you end up making a mess of it with a burn. And you got to pull it apart, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's very serrated. Even though that's going to be on the inside edge and you're really not going to see it, it just seemed like a lot of work and it was kind of hard to do. So I was thinking, if all they need is a singed edge, I'll show you the way to do it. Just take a pair of scissors, make your cut, goes like that, and then you can run it like fabric right up, make a nice smooth deal. That wasn't, but you can. So now you have the cut edges. What do? Rather than having to worry about them, you just take it, you singe them that way, run it over the edges, and then they get sealed, and then you're done. At about a half the time. It's a lot nicer lined, it's not jagged, you don't have any holes poked on it. So anyway, if you're going to do work with the Sunbrella type canvases for your tops and this kind of stuff, or even your internal cushions, highly recommend that. Just cut the stuff, draw your lines, run it right up there, cut it along the line, and then just singe it with a inexpensive little soldering gun like that. That's my advice. Okay, this is chapter 2, I think, right? Now another thing they recommend, when you work with foam, hopefully you don't have to replace your foam. Foam is a very expensive situation, and most all the foam used in boats is all contoured and blown into molds to make that contour, which, trust me, it's almost impossible to duplicate. So, and they last. I've done boats 20 years old, and the foam has looked fine and not had to replace it. You're going to have to probably beef it up with batten and stuff like that, but I try to stick with the original foam. Very expensive, like I say, and most times you can get away with the original product. This is a great little cutter. You can buy very expensive $150, $200 cutters, but this is just a little Walmart Black & Decker an electric knife, they call it, I guess, and it works fine. Cuts it like butter, and you can do it straight. If you want it on an angle, you can do it on an angle. Perfect. Very inexpensive. I think that, I don't know, not even $20, I don't think. And it does cuts through like butter, I say. Very good item. When you're done with your project, after your stapling and all, I recommend Exacto Knives. A lot of people use razors, one-edge razor blades. I try to use very hard to hold on to, and I was cut myself more than the vinyl. These things here are very inexpensive, not even $5 you can get them, with all kinds of different blades and a lot more comfortable handles to trim up your vinyl. Does a great job. One thing I want you to stay away from, please, is this electric knife, hot knife from Chicago Electric. Also, this is with Harbor Freight. I've used that how many times. I tried to use that. I never got it hot enough to cut the canvas. So, another useless tool. Okay, SaleRite.com. Big fan of theirs. Say great videos, and they sell you almost everything you need. They're a little light on the vinyls and boat fabrics, but as far as other things, they do a good job. You need a good mallet. So get anything, a hammer or will do. I like this because if I miss, it doesn't hurt my hand as much. But they have all these tools you can use. This is a hole punching thing for your fabrics. You want to put snaps in, or you want to put the grommets in. This is a great thing. This was quite inexpensive. It has all the way up from 1 1/4 inch down to what is that? 3/16 holes you can punch with this thing, and it has a nice guide on there. You put that right on the dot where you want to go. These things come in, they just screw in whatever you put that on your dot. They come. I recommend getting one of these mats. Very, very nice. And then you put it down there, whack it a couple of times hard, and she'll give you a nice round hole. Now with that hole, they sell these little things, and I think for the few times you actually use them, this is probably all you need. Like this is for simply putting a snap on. It's got a little base for you. Put your snap top in there. It fits right in the little groove. Then the snap itself on top of that. And then this little teeny plunger tool like thing. You just put it on there, whack that a couple of times with a hammer, and that bends it over there and gives you a nice snap push for your fabric in between there. And now this was very inexpensive. Now they do sell tools that are quite expensive, $100, $200. You just don't need them. Here's another one for another snap set, same kind of deal. You just put your snap in there, and this tool takes and bends that neck over to hold it in there. Very good job, very inexpensive. Again, I got them from SaleRite. Here's another one. This one came with, for a grommet, it gave you a little cutter. So if you don't want to buy a whole set like that one, they give you a little cutter. So you cut your hole in your fabric. Again, you just have the little cups. Put the cup in there, put your fabric in there, put the top on there, and then you just take that and you whack it. And that will bend the collar right around there, and now you have your grommet in there good. Okay, so one more thing I want to get into is steamers. Now, most professional people, have steamers for their work. I candidly have not found a great use for them. This was why I bought one, and wrinkles is kind of always your biggest problem, straight lines and wrinkles. Now this is supposed to get away with those. And this is a McCulloch. I think it's like $135 at Harbor Freight, and what they usually have 20% off coupons. I think I paid $115, $120 for this. And all you do is you put water in here. It comes with a bunch of attachments that I don't use. And what it does give you is steam, obviously. And where you can really do this, when you get into trying to fit the vinyl over a really tough corner, great to steam it and get it supple. Also, when you're pulling and you're chasing a wrinkle around, this will really dampen a wrinkle, especially if you can hit it first, give it a nice shot of steam, Steam it, steam it, steam it, get a nice supple, and then pull it. 9 times out of 10 you'll get that wrinkle out of there. And if everything else fails and you finish your project and you still have wrinkles in your vinyl, hopefully they're small, you can just put this right on it. I put it right on the vinyl and just give it shots and then massage it with my hands. And if nothing else, if it doesn't remove them, it really dampens them, so you're not nearly as visible. So that is something you may want to look. I did a lot of upholstery work without one, and it worked okay. But it does come in a pinch. This is a good thing to have if you got an extra $125 or something, and you're going to do a bunch of projects. I'd recommend probably looking into something like this. I mean, again, you can, like the other stuff, you can spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars on professional steamers, which of course none of us, hopefully watching this video, would ever need. But anyway, so you can take a look at this. It may help you out and solve some of your minor problems. Okay, well, that is it for our tools. This is the end of chapter 2. Tools are done pretty much now. Next time we're going to try to get into the fabrics and the threads. We're going to go over the canvases, the vinyls, the various thread sizes and types of thread you want to use. And I'll show you the vinyls I got in with people that sell the vinyls that work for me. I have good ones and I have bad ones, and I'll give you my opinion on those. So we'll go through that on chapter 3 next time. I hope you got something out of this. Have a great day. Thank you.